Hey guys, here we are in round 3 of the Vintage Daily event, and we're playing PugSuperStar. No idea what this opponent's playing. Probably not a very good hand against a blue deck, but I felt like it was viable enough to keep if he has something broken where he, if it does turn 1 Tinker, we're in pretty good shape. That is into a Blightsteel Colossus, but against Workshops is a viable hand. And against something like a Mentor deck, not so good. Excuse me. So, long story short, this is not a very good hand. Maybe against Workshops it was. But we're not playing against Workshops, so. Obviously not an optimal play here, but I'm going to do it anyways. If this can eat us Swords to Plowshares or something like that, that would be awesome. That's highly unlikely to happen, but it could. Much rather be casting a Sphere of Resistance or a Thorny Amethyst there. Stony Silence. Ooh, that's a bit of a beating, isn't it? Wowzers. Well, that's why you play the Ancient Tomb last turn, and that's what I was really haggling over, is doing that. I like to draw a Thorn here. It's quite good. Hopefully this resolves. This is actually quite important to resolve here. Okay, so he does have a Force, and he pitched a Jace Vrins. So I think that's fine. Gonna take his Tundra here anyways. Hopefully he does not have a Gush. I was not anticipating getting hit by a turn 2 Stony Silence. Definitely feels rough here, but so this could be a Jace Vrins Prodigy we're going to see here, which is fine. Not great, but fine. Nothing. So just going to hold up a Mana Drain here. Maybe a Snapcaster Mage. Okay, I'm fine. If he's got a Mana Drain, he's got a Mana Drain. I mean, it's just the world we live in. Sometimes you gotta go for it. But next turn, despite taking 6 damage to cast it, we're gonna get a Metamorph down here on the Lodestone. Hopefully. Oh, he does have a White Source. Okay. Well, certainly not as good. This is a little bit more of a high-risk play, casting a Metamorph here. I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm just going to attack first. Now, this is a high-risk play here, guys. It looks like it works. Definitely high risk, though. So we're obviously playing against some form of Mentor here. Cantrip. Okay, so this game is over. He can remove one, but he can't remove two. I guess he could be at one life, technically. So, we are playing against Mentor here. I don't think I'm going to side anything. Just pause there for a minute. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie Tombstone with Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday, but god damn is he a cool Doc, man. Wow, Johnny Ringo. He's yeah, anyways, it's sick, man, when he shoots Ringo in the noggin there. I'm going to keep this hand, guys. Look at Game 2 is a lot harder when you're on the draw against Mentor, and this is a very serviceable hand for us. Usually you want to have spheres against them, but you can overload Mentors sometimes with just a lot of threats, and, dropping 2-turn, playing a... Now, I don't like to see the Soul Ring here, but, like, dropping a Factory and a Lotus here and casting 2 Overseers is a really strong play. They're going to cast a Ravager here. Look, it's certainly not as potent, but it offers me a level of insulation, guys. Like if he nukes my Overseer, then I just sacrifice it to the Ravager. I guess playing the second Overseer is merit there, because that way I get to untap and start pumping with it immediately. But hopefully he just doesn't have removal. Wow, Johnny Ringo. You look like someone just walked on your grave. My fight ain't with you, Holiday. Oh, I beg to differ. We started a game we never finished. I was playing for keeps. You ain't no Daisy. Anyways, you guys aren't here to hear a poor rendition of Tombstone, but I do love that part of the movie. It's pretty slick. Okay. So that's what happened. Now, once again, guys, I think I've erred, because now I can't Wasteland. Because I won't be casting anything, which just seems so poor. But I'd really like to keep him off casting Mentors or having double removal up. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I mean, I've penciled myself into just wastelanding here, guys. It's so bad, but it is what it is. You got to do it. Maybe he's stuck on mana here, but that would be just super duper if he was. But probably unlikely with a Brainstorm Lotus. Okay, so this could be a Mentor here, and we could just be in trouble. Yep. Yikes. Probably just going to lose this game here. Yeah. Feels bad. I mean, a Blessed to Hear will help. Well, I'm not going to cast the Trinisphere here. We just got to try and win somehow. Just going to cast the Overseer, and hopefully we can pull it out. I mean, we're just in a lot of trouble here any which way you chalk it up. So, we did not... I really feel like that turn 1 play of playing the Factory instead of the Ancient Tomb was a detrimental play for us. It was... it really cost us. I don't think it would have won us the game either way, but it still would have put us in a position where we were putting pressure on the board here each turn instead of passing 2 turns in a row doing very minimal plays. And you know, how do you prevent doing that type of a mistake? I mean, it's hard to know, you know, how to sequence these things sometimes depending on how the board state's going to shake out. So we can definitely concede this game. We're not winning this game. But, you know, you've got to think ahead and say, you know, what happens if I want to wasteland next turn? You know, we also, that other game where we got caught with the Stony Silence. Like, I mean, that really hurt us. So I don't have the answers for it. You know, my rationale for playing the Factory there was that, you know, I'm going to be able to animate it the following turn potentially and get it pumped and get that damage in. But having said that, in hindsight, it was highly unlikely I was going to be tapping out to, you know, tapping my mana into a Factory to attack because I wanted to commit permanence to the table. You know, it's not like the Factory was the worst play too, right? There's also positive, and I was able to hold it up to tap in case my Ravager got killed there when it was my sole creature on the table, so I could have put a 4, you know, two modular tokens on my Factory. But I would have obviously preferred the latter, to be able to commit permanence to the table and be able to attack. Yeah. I mean, look, this isn't amazing. Round 3. My opponent's wishing me good luck in round 3. Thank you. That's a very peculiar thing to say, but thank you. I do appreciate your sentiments there. We'll play the Thorn. I mean, it's the one I'd rather have on the table. Now, obviously, we want to hope our opponent's got a fair hand with no Moxen or Lotus. Just land pass. Then we can slam a Sphere. And we've got Wasteland and Strip Mine pressure here for a little bit later in the game, once we've got some permanents committed to the table. So our opponent does have a Mox. You know, I'm just not sure how I'm feeling about workshops over the last couple months since the restrictions. You know, it's just felt so, you know, underpowered in a lot of ways. Oh, come on. That just feels really bad seeing my opponent do that. I'm going to get the Sphere resistance down here. It will keep him off a Mentor for a turn. then next turn we can wasteland him and play a Overseer. Well, actually, he can cast a Mentor here. Oh, wow. Okay. What's he go for? The Sphere or the Thorn? Yeah. Okay. So you can cast a JVP here. So already I'm just not feeling good about this game here. Like double Mox off the start is really, it's quite a strong play against us. So this works out pretty good. That Workshop was a nice draw here. That's the kind of draw we needed, and then we can start taking his lands away. We're going to take one away this turn. Next turn we're going to take another one away. Can't force that, bud. So we know one of his cards is a force. All right. Now look, I mean, it's probable he's got removal in those 5 cards, but that I can live with. If he misses on lands here, oh boy. Me getting to strip mine him here is quite significant. So what are we looking for here? We definitely need pressure. Pressure, I think, would be quite key here for us. We'd love to get a Ravager. We'd love a Ballista. Another Overseer. I could live with another Sphere. Like a Sphere Resistance would be reasonable. Okay, he did not shuffle his library, but he didn't find a land, interestingly enough. Do I just want to get in for 5 damage here? I think I'm going to just attack him for 3. Next turn we'll be able to pump up the factory. Interesting to note, my opponent did not play a land last turn and chose not to shuffle his library. I'm not sure what that means. So my opponent maybe just saw a Mentor on top and kept it? I don't know. Maybe should have played the factory there to respond to the Overseer. So he does have the Force here. We knew he had that. I kind of feel like we just want to get in for damage here. Although I'm swinging in real hard next turn. This might be greedy, not to have been pounding in each turn rather than pumping up, particularly this turn, but we'll see. Doing it this way kind of spreads out my damage a little more. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't have a white land here. Yeah, so we're swinging in for lethal here.